One of us should call
right, we're
Trig.
recording.
Welcome. It's another Zoom episode with the gang.
They don't like the Zoom. I don't think they like the Zoom.
Fucking Zoom again.
Lazy
2021 year to Zoom. But this is episode 91. We don't have full attendance today. We missing Trig. I can't even tell y'all where he at.
I mean,
But H in here, Preece in here. We got a lot on the bill today, so let's get right into the wellness check. How y'all feeling?
I'm good. Just a heads up, I won't be here next Sunday. So it might be an all voice episode. Huh?
Tell us on the episode.
God damn, right.
Yeah.
Earlier. Right?
Oh yeah. Well, I was gonna tell y'all during the week, but I said now. But I had a really good weekend. Really good. Got a lot done.
So where you going Sunday? Like,
I'm not going nowhere Sunday. I leave on Friday.
All right. So where you gonna be at Sunday?
Yeah, where you going Friday?
I'm going to Atlanta.
Oh wow.
So for my girlfriend's birthday. So I'll be back Tuesday.
Yeah, you doing Zoom.
We could have took the gang. We could have took the gang on the road. You know what
I don't think I'm gonna be tore. Nah, not Sunday. Cause I'll be getting my flight early on Monday.
We could have flew out for the day. Just the one day it came back. That shit would have been $40.
Right.
No, but I'm a high 9 today. I did pretty good this weekend.
Okay. I'm
going next.
No, I'm going next.
They told us no.
Now go ahead, bro. You got it. Go ahead. Go next.
I'm an 8. I'm all right. I'm just surviving. I'm 8. I can't complain. I look at this fucking video. I look like I got like a lazy eye or something. This shit, old age kicking my ass, man. Something ain't right. But I ain't got no complaints, man. I'm all right. I took a couple days off and fresh back to work. You know what I mean? I can't complain. Snow, I'm ready for this shit to go. But other than that,
yeah, man. And it's supposed to snow again tomorrow.
Fell on the ice. The ice 2-0 on me because I fell twice already on that shit.
Right.
I ain't fall down the steps. I fell like in the parking spots and shit like that.
The Uggs don't grip no snow, bro.
Right. Well,
yeah, them Uggs ain't got no traction on them.
Told you to get them boots, nigga, them Timbs.
Get them others.
And them Uggs get soft in the water, you know what I mean? That's snow. No, but I go. I guess I'm last. I'm a good 7, I would say.
Ooh,
I'm a 7. My back cool. Snowed the other day, but my neighbor, he came through. See, I live in like a little apartment complex type joint.
Oh wow.
My neighbor came through with he had a motherfucker snow blower.
Whoa.
And I had to shovel my shit out last time, and he was like, "Yo, he saw me." So yeah, he came through, and he let me hold the snow blower. I paid him like a dub, just cause he had to do that.
yeah, that's a good job.
Yo, I got a question though. Now, I ain't gonna let people know where you live at, Sport. But what fucking part of the country you live in? Because compared to my block to the last time we was live, I ain't had no snow on my block. Yo, you still got mountains of snow on your fucking block.
That shit get. I think because we got a big block. I think because our block's so big here, it's like it's so much fucking snow, and it's like the shit just. And I think the way my direction, I think you live north and south, and I live like an east and west direction, so that might be like it ain't melt as much. That it could be something like that. But I did notice that like my block got. But if you go down the block and all that shit, there's a lot of snow in my fucking area. Like
yo, I was like, this fool still got like mountains. Like, what the hell?
Especially if you come through the back ain't nobody touch that shit back there.
Yeah, what's the name, man? They'll plow your streets over there, bro.
If I still had my back like I was a youngin', I would have made some money.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
they hit the streets, but they just throw all that shit in the corner, and everybody got to dig out their cars. So it's just it just be piles of that shit. But I think it's like we not getting no sun on the block because That shit not melting fast enough.
Yeah, because I barely had anything. People even stopped putting chairs out. And then I came to your block and I was like, huh? Like,
yeah, that's true. But no, like that's a good investment, bro. Get you a snowblower, cause
yeah,
I'm definitely on that now. Like he said, he got another one he gonna sell, but my pop got one, and this motherfucker like, yo, all you gotta do is get it fixed. I'm like, nigga, like, all right, come on.
I'd have banged the whole block out. I was doing old people shit up here for free off the strength.
Right.
They ain't even toss me no tip or nothing and shit.
Yeah.
What's the name? My shorty just kept vouching me for shit. I had me jumping people's cars. I'm like, oh, I ain't jumping no car on the Jenny. Like, you know what I mean?
On your block?
Too much fucking money for you to be jumping cars.
On your block?
Yeah, it's a bunch of old fucking people, bro. Like, I'm like the youngest person on the block. So all the old people, like, oh, I got two old people next to me. Oh, you ain't gonna shovel they front, Troy? What the fuck this look like? Yeah.
Right.
And the neighbor across the street, she old. My car's stuck. You think you can give me a jump? Over what?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no, you being too nice.
Fuck around, blow your shit up. I'll give you a jump off this bed.
You too nice on the block, man.
But speaking of we can get into the topics. Speaking of snow, you know, Texas got a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even think they got a lot. It was just they not used to it.
They're not prepared for that.
I heard mixed stories. Like, you know, we live in an age of conspiracy theories, where everything is something and shit is widespread. So one of the stories I was hearing is that the government was actually behind like the snow in Texas. Like they said they had a machine or a satellite or whatever that was making snow in Texas. All in the hoops to get people onto public aid and public assistance and to sway people to start to like bring guns and all types of theories.
Oh,
and stuff
wow.
Like that. Yeah.
Can't listen to that shit.
Thing, yeah.
I mean, it could be true, but then again, man, you know how many damn conspiracy theories you hear and shit. That shit don't be valid. Like
they said Bill Gates made Corona.
Oh God.
Like that 5G shit, right?
Remember that 5G shit? That shit went out the window when that new phone came out.
Yeah, right. That's the one. But my biggest thing was well, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but what the Texas mayor had to say, he basically told the residents, like, you know, we don't have nothing to do with your power going off or the emergency that everybody is in right now. You have to figure out a way to keep your family warm, to keep, you know, your family fed, water, clean water, and everything like that. And it was like, get off your lazy behinds. But mind you, downtown Texas is lit up.
Yeah,
so
well, you know, see,
control there.
See, I did a little like digging on that. Somebody sent me that too. And you know, like, excuse me, when you talk about Texas, Texas is a state.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So my first question was like, when you see the report, they just said Texas mayor. So it was like, well, evidently you're not the mayor of the whole state.
Yeah.
What city do you govern? So he was like, I believe the city he governed, don't quote me, I think it was like Carl City or something to that nature. And the population there was only like 5,000 people. And I looked it up. So I did my research on it. It was like the demographic of it was like 75% of the no, not I'm lying to you, 83% of the demographic in that city was majority white people.
Oh.
And this mayor went on to say things of that nature, like speaking like, because I think he spoke out so much out of term is because first of all, that's like equivalent to being maybe the mayor to like Norristown or some shit like that, or like Jenkinstown or something like that. So they probably asking for a bunch of shit. He probably was just a successful businessman, and they made him mayor of the city of 5,000 people. And it's like, motherfucker, why y'all asking for shit? Like he just went off on a rant because at the end of the day, it's like, I don't have to be the mayor of this fucking city like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, don't get on my back.
And then the other one, I didn't catch his name. Another official, he went on vacation. Like, and they tried to put him on the cross for that.
Ted Cruz, he's I believe the senator of Texas. and like the state representative, he the senator of Texas. So Ted Cruz is big in the Republican, like he's one of the known officials in the Republican Party. So when it's like, all right, well, we know you on the national stage, but it's like, what state do you represent? And the state that he represents is Texas. So it's like when all this shit was happening, they like, oh, well, we know Ted Cruz. Let's tap in to see what Ted Cruz doing. Ted Cruz took his family to Cancun.
Yeah.
That nigga took his family on the
He ain't
cruise.
worried about it. My thing is, but I did see a lot of like disturbing videos. People walls are coming down. Like even some of the comedians I follow, like their walls were coming down. They got big holes in the ceiling. Some other locals, their water has parasites in it, and it was just like, wow, like that's such a crazy thing.
Yeah, that was getting me when I seen the parasites.
Yeah, like you seen it, it's like brown and like, oh my God, that's so crazy. And
I
then
never
on
seen
top
a
of
parasite.
that, they got they food in the snow to keep it cold. You got that, and then also like I see some celebrities try to like get people together. Tory said something, they flamed him for that. Beyonce tried to help. Too many people reached out.
Right.
And too many people reached out, and it was overwhelming for her, so she couldn't pay for like over 130,000 people reached out for her fund.
Yeah,
and she had to close it.
They trying to get Beyonce go broke.
Like trying to help. Like she had to close it.
I tapped into some people that I know. Like I don't know people in Texas, but I have friends that have people out in Texas, and they said it's not as bad as people making it out to be. You gotta remember the media always trying to sell a story. Now I believe people are like without water in some places like that, and the problem is not that the weather is so severe. It's just that they're not equipped for the weather that a state like Philly, a state like Pennsylvania or a state like New York actually get. Like that's probably equivalent to the snow that we got over the last couple of days. But our houses are built different. We know as people that it gets this cold here. Like you know what I mean? The pipes are used to being froze in the summer, like you know what I mean, in the winter and stuff like that. So it's like all new to them. Like the fucking roof not built for that. They houses are built for hurricanes and things.
If
of that
they
nature.
not used to it, where they get all these jackets from? Everybody had like a big ass jacket on. I'm like, what you buying for? Like what you buying for if you're not used to it? I'd have had 2 6 hoodies on and shit like.
Man, they had a picture of the fucking. I don't know who they were. These people working at Pizza Hut. They look exhausted in the mouth.
They was done. There was pepperoni all over the place.
You see that?
And then I also was looking, and they said they actually ran out of gas because a lot of people were just sitting in their cars with the heat.
Right.
And that gas station actually ran out of gas. Some people was bringing their grill inside. Like, come on, dog, man, you know better.
No, listen, by any means necessary.
They said a lot of people go to the hospital with carbon monoxide poisoning because you bring the grill in the house because it's too cold. Like you can't bring no generator, and like, you can't kind of do that stuff.
When you think about stuff like, well, if we went down there, like even when I visited Florida last week, it was like, not last month, it was like, it might have been like 77 degrees out there. And they're like, yeah, it's kind of nippy out here. I'm like, nippy, this shit warm out here. Like, it's just the equivalent of what a cool day to them feels like, and what a cool day. So if you haven't seen snow in probably 20 years, to get snow is like fucking mind boggling to you. And it's like, what do we do? And if your room, if your house is built up, like it's elevated up, and your house is built to protect from the water, not your roof from the snow, because you don't have them problems. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, things gonna happen that you didn't think. And it might be like, I'm not saying it's not cold, but if it's like 30 degrees or 40 degrees, that's the shit. Like that's a regular winter in Philadelphia or something like that. Or
they said people dying from hypothermia. What is it? Hypothermia?
Hypothermia. But these motherfuckers, like, you know, like your roof collapsed because your house not built for some of the shit that
built for that snow and all that on there. Yeah. I see a lot of water. The pipes bust too though? Like that.
That's the same thing. But that's the equivalent of when when Jersey got hit with like the what was that, Superstorm Sandy and stuff like that.
Right.
It's like the neighborhood's not built for stuff like that, so it ripped through those shore homes and stuff like that because we didn't build the house and thinking of like, yo, it's gonna be a hurricane one day, because that's not the shit that we deal with. So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. That's not to say that they're not going through stuff and it's not bad out there. I believe it is bad out there, but I don't think it's somewhere like they dropped their ass in Alaska.
A little boy died, 11-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
But it was in like a trailer or a motorhome, like not even on the funny shit, but if you live in a trailer or motorhome, why the fuck you ain't get up out of there? Like, it's a motorhome, like, you know what I mean? Get up out of there, you know what I mean? Like,
I never understood that though. Like, I don't know, like with the Katrina thing, when people was getting hurricanes, like if you know that they talking about this shit about to be bad, why you ain't get up out of there? Like,
I posed a question to us, and we heard some scary shit like, yo, like, would you really leave everything that you fucking built?
If they really told me, if I got like, the news like pipe things up and stuff like that. But if
right, that's why what people was thinking. Like, man, that shit gonna be that
but
bad.
it ain't like down there. The shit really happened though. Like maybe the first time I ain't moving, all my shit got flooded and my dog died and all that. The second time I ain't playing with him. Like
that's why, like, I'm surprised a lot of people went back to New Orleans. Like, you know what I mean? After that shit that happened down there, I probably wouldn't move back there, bro. I probably be like, yo, I'm done, man.
I'm gonna start over somewhere else. But them motherfuckers a lot of them never left the southern border. So you gotta think Texas got a lot of people who was like Katrina survivors living there after the whole thing or whatever. They're like, oh, damn, the snow shit. Like, you know what I mean?
With them niggas in Mexico. No, stay over there.
Yeah. How they get snow but Mexico did? Like, what the fuck is going on?
No, but that shit is definitely wild, man. I see a lot. My thing is it in Houston or is it all over Texas?
It's
like,
Texas.
I just see a lot of people in Houston talking about it.
Yeah, it's Texas in general. So I think it's Houston and like a couple surrounding areas. But I don't think it's the whole Texas, because when you look at Texas is a huge state.
Right,
like,
exactly.
It might take you 8-10 hours to drive through Texas. It's some parts of Pennsylvania. Like if you in Philly to get to like Ohio and stuff. I mean, to get to Ohio, you gotta
like
drive
Pittsburgh or some
hours out of Pennsylvania. So they ain't getting snow everywhere in there. Somebody's still like chilling.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy. Niggas probably running the niggas' crib, stealing this shit.
Yeah, I saw them. They had hot dogs and brown and serves in the snow and shit like that.
Right. Some shit you could have just kept in the house if it was already cold in there. Like, I mean,
come on,
you putting it in the snow for? I mean, I ain't gonna be inconsiderate though.
Now you gotta watch your shit all night.
You ain't for it like this.
Right, you know what I mean?
Fucking raccoons. Yo, did you see the snake was like sitting? They had snakes, I guess. It was sitting on the ice bed. Like, oh my God. It was so crazy.
That's devil shit. That's devil shit.
It was. There was a bunch of snakes and animal frogs.
No, I seen people was taking what's them joints that you them joints that you get off like the moving trucks, that wood, what is it called?
Yeah, the pallets.
Yeah, the pallets, they was taking them joints and burning them up to keep their crib warm. Making a lot of sense. Shit, I probably would have been doing that too.
You get in survival mode.
Right.
The thing we saw though, to move on, the thing we saw that was like really trending around here, and I think it was on a couple websites. I think the Say Cheese TV website was carrying it. Is that Baltimore was the city of Baltimore was exploring actually paying criminals and the quote unquote shooters to stop shooting. So like giving out a stifling of I believe in the thousands of dollars just for people to just put the guns down. Like, and that kind of current about uproar. What y'all think about it, about paying the shooters to chill?
I think you should just give them some resources to, as though they have a criminal background, they can apply for these jobs. They're not looked at as like somebody you want to work for your company. I feel like if you offer more of those, that's the same thing. But Okay, so when the money run out, because you're not gonna keep up $1,000. So when the money run out, okay, back to shooting. Like
First of all,
just give them
they'll go with that
$1,000.
They'll go with that 1,000. Somebody go in your pocket.
I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Like, yeah,
and
then this person trying to take your 1,000 after they got their 1,000.
Exactly.
It's just a joke. Get them resources that they can use. Being as though a lot of these felons, ex-cons or whatever, ex-felons or whatever, have a record, they can't get certain jobs. So I don't want to say, open your employment to possible robbery or anything like that, depending on the charges, but maybe you should take that off the table. Okay, you've been in jail before. If it's not too bad, then maybe you can work for us. But like killers and stuff like that,
though. They got jobs. It's just a lot of these people, like I said, a lot of these people they make fast money. So you offering them a job that's not as equivalent to what they make on the streets. They ain't gonna want to do that shit regardless. And then you give somebody $1,000, it's just greed and envy. That $1,000 ain't gonna hold them. They're gonna want your 1,000. Like shit, you
gonna make new shooters. New shooters gonna come out. You gotta take from the shooters. The shooters got paid today. Let's get them.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit be like snowfall. You supplying these motherfuckers to possibly get drugs and
right.
more violence. Like,
they gonna stop killing people. I don't even. The
drugs gonna come on in 3 days too.
Well, hold on. What is the qualifications? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, why you gotta have a attempted murder charge or something like that?
Right. Oh yeah, we gotta get little Tony and them $1,000.
Before you drop another nigga in the
hood. All right, so it don't say
definitely gotta give that dude
a couple dollars. It's qualifications.
No,
me personally, what I think on the situation is, I think it's just is moving backwards. Like, if you want to stop people from first of all, some things you never gonna stop. You're just gonna try to minimize it. Like, people gonna always kill each other and stuff like that are always gonna exist. But you put those resources in trying to raise the kids that's coming up, right? You trying to change a mindset instead of trying to mold the kid to go the right path. Like, put that money in the kids that's coming up. You can't save some people. They already 3-time felons. They already know the streets. That's what they are. Granted, you can rehabilitate people, but in a lot of time when you talk about rehabilitation, you still you open yourself and you accessible to, like, yeah, maybe you hire 3 ex-cons and 2 of them do the right thing, but the one gonna steal from you. So that's what I'm just opening shit up to. But that money, if you gonna give a person $1,000, get that $1,000 to teach these kids how to build apps or give them after-school programs and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying. Do something more useful. And it's not that it was gonna. It's not that it was gonna give them a stipend of $1,000. They were saying that the shooters want money. And back in 2016, the crime rate was cut in half when the criminals were paid $1,000 a month. So it's just kind of like they don't have any qualifications.
I believe it. I think like if you ask anybody who you ask a lot of these guys who play with guns and stuff like that, you ask them, it all come with the drug game. And the drug game stems from people not having opportunities or I'm not even gonna say not having opportunities, not knowing the direction to go find the opportunities. Like, you can walk out your door and find somebody that'll put you on to the drug game. But it's not that easy for you to walk out and find the right thing to do. It's not that easy to get a job. It's not that easy to know that, we teaching computer programming at the school, or if you graduate from high school, we be able to get you this job. That's not as easy for people to find. The easiest thing you can find to get a couple dollars is to go right out the door and let the big homie put you on.
Yeah.
So
to take from the next man.
Yeah.
It's so easy nowadays to find a gun or to get a gun. It's like, all right.
Exactly. And it comes
as unfortunate.
Right.
And then to be honest, if we get all the way into it, it's not even about it be about majority of it is about money, but it's also about power too.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you see in a lot of times it's like
pay power.
Like when you talk about a lot of people, they just want to sell drugs to provide for their family, but And that process is somebody else probably from across the tracks to say, look, like, I want what you got because I want more to supply more for my family. So what you gonna do? You gonna let somebody take something from you? You can't fight. So, you know, it comes in the hands. So man, my thing is how you clean up the drugs in the community. That you want to stop the guns, you stop the drugs.
Yeah.
It's rare that you find people that's just shooting people just to shoot people. Yeah. Like a lot of times,
bro, that's territory. I don't know, bro. That's kind of different, man.
That is true. You got some people, you got deep rooted like
problems. Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
if you say that about them niggas in Chicago, I don't even think it's about the money. Yeah, them niggas dying for blocks. Then you got other niggas just dying for colors and shit like that and gangs. It's like, so I don't even think it's about the money more so. It's just more so of this is who I am, this is where I rap, I'm a tough guy, or I claim to be a tough guy.
Yeah. But if you, my question is, if you present a child with an opportunity, like I think so many people lose so many people in the streets, and it's like I think some people be like, yo, I'm done with the streets. Like, I done lost my cousin, my brother, my cousin, my uncle, my whatever. It's nowhere to go. But what can I do but go back to the streets? Like, I believe if you present people with the opportunity to make a change, then some people will. Not everybody. Some people will take the opportunity though. So it's like if you can come up, you could be the little homie that's still on the steps and ain't come off the porch yet. But you've seen the fate of all your big cousins and all your big brothers and your pop, and you've seen which route they went. And it's like, damn, I want to do something different, but I don't have it. Like, where do it come from? Which way do I go to do something different? Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where even with G Herbo opening up like a mental health clinic is like, that's something that's not talked about enough.
YK Orceris, whatever his name is.
Yeah. A couple people doing it now. Like, they open up mental health there because it's trauma. Like, people don't, like, you got real anxiety. You got people who lost so many fucking family members in front of their face, and people died on their front step and stuff like that. And you just expect that shit's supposed to be normal from you. You're just supposed to carry on like it ain't nothing. Yeah. Like, and that's not addressed enough in the Black community like that, because we can't afford services to say like, yo, you need to talk to a therapist. But
then it's so hard to talk to somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so hard.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, in some cases it's not, but some, like I said, you got situations where you can go to churches and shit like that, but some people just don't want to do it. You know, they excuse to seek help that way. And like you said, I mean, hopefully they take advantage of those them clinics and joint shit like that, but I don't know, man. I look at like that $1,000, going back to what we was talking about, that $1,000 shit.
Yeah, I think you trying to pay.
That's a reach.
You trying to pay the end of the stem instead of starting to, like, you know what I mean? That a lot of people, and I hate to say, I don't know if it's sound harsh or not, but a lot of people, like, they already set in their ways. You can't save adults. A lot of adults you can't save. You gotta save the kids and save the next generation.
Yeah.
But you can't do that though if they live in a household with the adults still clinging on to that way. Like,
it's like, you know,
not even knocking people, bro. Like, I look at like, all right, now I'm switching the gear a little bit, but towards like welfare and shit like that. You know how many families that really they don't need to be on that shit, but they choose to because it's so easier and they content with their life.
Yeah.
It's like you raising your kids to be okay with that.
But you got to tell yourself, like, I was raised around a lot of people that was on welfare. Like, I seen people like my uncle girlfriends and stuff like that, and they just like, they've been on welfare their whole life. And it's like, you got to tell yourself that, like, I seen people frantic and trip about waiting around to get a check that they didn't work for. So it's like, when the money didn't come, like, it's like, you fucked up. So I always thought to myself, like, I know, like, regardless what I do, I know if I get up and I go to work every fucking day or every other day or whatever the case may be, in 2 weeks, I'm owed a check. Like, you know what I mean? Right. Now, granted, my profession, they fuck up our checks a little bit. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm not being robbed or I'm not making a big deal about something I didn't earn.
But yo, like, you know what I mean? So I know in 2 weeks. That shit, though. It's to the point, you know, they make so much money on welfare. I don't know how that shit works, but you got people that actually like know the scheme and the game to this shit. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
I make so much money on welfare. I don't need to work because the government paying me and shit. Like,
you gotta ask yourself, what do you want? Like, and I think that's the conversation I think everybody has to have with themselves. Is like, what do you want out of life? Like, if I know,
but
that
they don't want nothing. Then they raising 3 or 4 kids. It's like, and they see that it's like a never ending fucking like thing with them, like, or the family. It's like a curse until
I see people get out of the cycle. Like,
or hypothetically speaking, bro, out of a family of 4, how many you think for talking about kids? 40 kids, how many you gonna think gonna break that cycle?
I know somebody, a family of 4, like, and out of the 4, one of them made it out to like, all right, I'm doing something different. Rare. And a lot of times, and it's not to be like sexist and nothing, a lot of times it be the men that make it out because the men don't have the kids. It's like a lot of times the girls get caught up having kids, and it's like you get on the WIC, you get on the welfare and all that, and then it's like, all right, well, I don't have the time to find another job because I got a baby I got to take care of. So you just start depending on the assistant. And it's like you don't have enough opportunity to get underneath her because what a child create is overhead. So no matter how much your income grow, your child expenses always grow.
Right.
So you get to a point where it's like I can't get from underneath of what my child costs me. And that's just essentials. Is like Pampers, diapers, clothes, and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's when you see people suffer. You see people suffer from having kids. Like, you see people walking around looking crazy and bummy. Is because, and I salute you for that though. Like, you taking care of your kids and you putting clothes on their back and you sacrificing what you need for yourself and stuff like that. But at the same time, once these women start having these kids and you got 2, you got 3, and it's like, you only making $11 an hour. How much you doing? How can you really move out and live by your own, like on yourself?
Yeah, I don't know about
yourself?
2, but 1, I was barely making it. And I was at $11.50 an hour before my current
job.
And I would say not even just that.
And I was off, and I was I mean, I was offered CCIS, which is help for a daycare. But I barely got like stamps or anything like that. But it was tough even at $11.50. And I only got 1.
Even with that, you had to tell yourself, it's like, all right, do I try to seek out more funding and more programs, or do I tell myself like, yo, I need to start making more fucking money and find me a better career?
That was mine. I was like, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, but see, I feel like it was different for Preece though. She had a different structure growing up, her family and shit like that. Everybody don't got like that.
I grew up on welfare. I grew up on government cheese. I grew up on all that. I got tired of seeing it.
Yeah, I was in them lines. I
got tired of seeing it. It was just like, I really think, and this is somebody, I'm sorry, and this is somebody that like a lot of people around me on it. I had a friend that was actually, in order to get on welfare, like a Section 8 type of thing, she was willing to take her and her kids to a shelter just to get on the list faster. And it was just like, yo, like, why would you do that? Like, and she was like, no, because I'm gonna get this, that, and the third. I'm like, you could just look for a better job. I just got tired of it. I hated going to the public welfare office. I just hated everything about it. And I was like, you know what? Like, I gotta look for a better job. Like, and that's where I'm at now. But yeah,
I feel like people who have multiple kids and shit like that, and
multiple kids, I don't know.
No, the one I feel like the kid who suffers the most is the firstborn, because they going through all that shit.
But that's everything though. You the test dummy. Like, I'm the oldest child on my mom's side. And
but you made it though, nigga. It's like when you look at it, like, yo, like, damn, that shit could have went left if I would have took this path.
But I think, like I said, I think it's really easier for boys. It's like, well, granted, if you don't have a child at a young age and stuff like that, and you blessed enough to make it to an age where it's like, all right, well, I was like, I think I maybe was like 22 when my son was here, and it's like I made it to that age where I was old enough to like, all right, I still got the world in front of me that I can do something. Like, I ain't put myself behind the 8 ball, like with a sexual encounter that led to a child at 16.
Yeah, that was, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I had that in my family. Like, it's crazy because my youngest brother brought a baby home at 16.
Yeah, and it throw you off like, and then it's like, if you think it's tough on a boy because at 16 you're a boy, if you think it's tough on a boy, imagine how tough it is on a female having that, because a boy can say, yo, I couldn't get it from my mom, I couldn't get it from my dad, I don't have it, I just can't do nothing about it. A woman can't, a girl can't say that, like, because it has to be done. You know what I mean?
Right. And then even at 16, 9 times out of 10, y'all not living together, so all responsibility is on her. You know, shit like that.
A lot of that stuff is like, all right, well, I gotta make a way, like, you know what I mean? So, and it's like, I don't know, it's crazy, but it's like when you look at the statistics of like public assistance and all that, like when you do a wide range of America in total, there's more Caucasian people on public assistance than is African American. But the stereotype is that, oh, it's the African American thing, all black people on it and stuff like that. But as a whole, I mean, it's not. But me personally, I think black people in whole has they can tap into a lot of potential, and we have to. But I think this country likes us like on public assistance. Like they don't want to give you, like they don't want to. Yo, you know what? I can get you a good job. I don't think it's not. I'm not saying some people would turn down a good job and a good opportunity to sit on their ass, but I don't think it's too many people who wouldn't thrive with opportunity. But that's the thing, we lack opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
the crab in the barrel mentality too.
Yeah, that's too. That comes from different stuff though too. But while we on the black people thing and all that, did anybody catch the movie about Fred Hampton? It was Judas and the Black Messiah. It came out. It was scheduled to come to theaters, and it did hit theaters, but I think nobody going to the movie, so it was on HBO Max and other platforms, Fire Stick, wherever you seen it. But it tells the story of Fred Hampton, his uprising in the Black Panther Party, and his inspiration and his assassination at the age of 22 or 21. 21. Yeah. Damn. So it told the story behind the whole outcome of his uprising and the Black Panther Party and his establishment and the mark he left on this world. To be honest,
I ain't get a chance to see it, but damn, at 21, when you hear 21, it's still a baby, man. You still just growing on your own. That's fucked up. I didn't know he died at 21, but I definitely gotta check it out.
Yeah, it was definitely a good movie. Daniel, I can't pronounce his last name, and Lakeith Stanford were like the two stars in it. And
the guy that played Get Out.
Yeah, the guy that was. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, though. And I don't want to,
He played Fred Hampton.
Yeah. Okay. So, Lakeith Stanford he played the role of William O'Neill. William O'Neill was actually, quote unquote, in our language, a rat. He played undercover as a Black Panther, a part of being the Black Panther Party, and the whole time he was telling the moves of Fred Hammond to the feds. So, I mean, feeding them blueprints of what this place look like, what this place like, so they can raid it, telling them every move and everything like that to avoid jail time for him being a car thief. He did that all the way up until Fred Hammond's demise, which he helped the feds do, and they offered him they gave him a gas station, and at the end of it, I guess that's his gift. Like, thank you for helping. They set him up with like a business and stuff like that, so he could be quote unquote like survive, like, you know what I mean? Like, you got something now, so it's like, you know what I mean, you'll be set. As long as you don't fuck this up, you'll be set.
They set him up then. So
it was crazy. It was a crazy movie.
Yeah, well, even like if you detail the movie, like he wasn't the only like informant inside the Black Panther Party, and it's escaping me now, but the FBI, the head of the FBI, the guy, he was like a known racist. Edgar Hoover, I believe it is. He was the head of the feds, and they viewed the Black Panther Party as the biggest threat to America at the time. And
bullshit.
Their goal was to destroy the Black Panther Party. So you know what I mean? They used them as the biggest threat to America, whatever like that. And what the movie goes on to show you is how the guy who what was his name again? You said the actor name.
William. His name is Lakeith Stanfield, but he was playing William O'Neill.
Yeah. He plays in Atlanta. He played in a couple other movies. I know he played in the Photographer with Issa Rae.
Yeah.
So that guy he's a car theft, like an auto theft.
Played to Get Out too.
Yeah,
he
was
was the crazy boy with the nosebleed.
The guy who did the movie, Ryan something. He's the guy who did Black Panther, and he's doing Space Jam 2, and he's a known I think it's Ryan something, but he's a known like black director and stuff like that. So like this what got Jay-Z on board with doing the soundtrack and stuff like that. It was like anything he does, they try to support. But he did the Black Panther movie, and he was actually did this movie or whatever like that. So that's the how they drew together the two different things or whatever. But it just shows you like how the FBI kind of hemmed him up for something he did, and it's like, all right, we're gonna send you to jail for a long time unless you cooperate. So they kind of had him by the balls in the same breath. But it's like, if you knew what you knew now, like would you would have just took the jail time, and versus you bringing down something that could have been real big and real impactful. And like they don't tell you towards the end of the movie, Fred Hampton age that like, oh, he died at the age of 21, and it's like you see the impact and the things he was doing. He was now the Black Panthers was like stretched over different countries. I mean, not different countries, different cities and states in America, and he was the head of like the Chicago. So this took place in Chicago, and he was grouping together whites and blacks,
Hispanics,
everybody
all type of gangs.
Everybody who felt oppressed from the judicial system in general, he brought them together, and his impact was like widespread. At one point in the movie, J. Edgar Hoover says to the detective that's handling the quote unquote rat, he says to him, he's like, when you sent Fred Hampton to jail for I believe he did like 6 or 7 months for stealing what they called ice cream. And that's the things he was using to provide in the neighborhood or whatever like that. So that's what they pinned on him to get him off the streets in the hopes to like slowing him down and slowing his momentum down, his impact. And when they sent him to jail, he said, you made him a celebrity. He said, I don't want you to send him back to jail, because he was set to go to trial. And he knew he was headed back to jail to spend more time in jail. He said, I don't need you to send Fred Hampton to jail because that made him a celebrity. I need you to get rid of him. And that hints the plan that what they did to actually assassinate him.
Damn, that's crazy. Like a good look. I gotta go check that out.
Yeah, no, it's actually a very good movie. I was like, wow, like it's crazy. And then just when you do watch it, read the credits at the end, because it tell you a lot about what happened with William O'Neill. You know, even after that interview, they say something at the end of, you know, something. But my whole thing was, I actually seen a piece of an interview with Charlamagne. He was talking to Daniel, who played Fred Hammond in the movie. And he was saying, I guess Charlamagne has some type of beef with Lakeith Stanfield. I'm not sure. Stanfield? Yeah, Stanfield. So he says, you know, he played that role a little too well. So he looked like the type, basically, like he a rat. Like, and
it's
just like Charlamagne does more and more that makes me think, like, bro, like
rubbing people the wrong way, man.
All the time. Like, come on, you gotta humble yourself. Like, I really think he should humble himself. You got your own solo thing now. You need to chill out a little bit. That was an impactful movie. And even Daniel was like, what, you still got beef with him? Like, we're not gonna do that. Like, thank you. Because, like, what you doing that for?
He ain't give him that inch to keep it going and shit like that.
Good.
Right. That's a good thing. I mean, that's how you can see who you really cool with and shit like that, because he ain't fucking carrying on and let him keep talking about him and shit like that. But you know, Charlamagne, he gonna throw his little jab. That's just who he is as a person.
Right. You gotta recognize though. You gotta recognize when something bigger than you. It's bigger than you.
Well, he did respond. He called him a hoe, like, but he posted the clip and he was like, "This whole ass shit," like, or whatever. So, but you know,
but you gotta. I mean, and then you as a, like, you gotta be more responsible with your platform than then. But I think, you know, everybody build the ego. Like you made it enough that you think you can do what you want and say what you want. But at the same time, like, what are you shifting the focus to? You want to shift the focus to the beef you got with the actor or the powerful impact the movie had in general?
Yeah,
like, you know
exactly.
What I mean?
That's where I like. Come on, it was a good movie. It's definitely a must see company, so you should see it. I had to go ahead and watch it on HBO Max because I was trying to free stream it.
Everybody ain't got that.
I tried to free stream it. I really did. Then I thought about like, damn, they ain't gonna get the money.
That shit, right?
They ain't gonna get the money, so I might as well just go ahead and pay for it. I was like, God damn.
Oh, you went out your way.
What was most shocking to me about the whole movie is like when you see the ending credits and they tell you like the results of things happen and they bring it up to like current date, is like to hear that they still got stuff like that going around, and it's like we not privy to the like the information. It's like, all right, I think it said like it was like the Junior Black Panther Party or something like that, and they said like his girl, I mean his wife or whatever she was in the story, is his child mother was still involved in some things that like that I thought that didn't even exist no more. Like, so it was like,
and his son is the chairman, just like his dad was.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean,
he looked just like his dad too.
I didn't see it. Well, I think that the guy that they had play him played a good role, but when you see like his actually like he not even dark skinned. Like the one guy was dark as shit. Like, I know. It's like you pick it. It's like you got to run the fine line of like you want a good actor or actor to look just like him. Like
I know you right.
Yeah, so it was a little
the hit or miss type shit.
Yeah, you got the good acting, but the motherfucker don't look like him.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like when you hear like some of the like even in the movie, and I don't know if they was word for word speeches that he said, but it's like it's powerful and to know that somebody can be that knowledgeable at the age of like 20 or like 19 when you look at people that age now and you be like, these motherfuckers is just like, I don't know what the fuck got going on. So you feel like they sent here for a purpose. And it's crazy to see people that like really would go to bat for us. Like, and you gotta ask yourself, like, how would the world be if the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X's and things of that nature was able to just get old and like, you know what I mean? How do they impact the world, and how different are things for Black people if these people are still around? And it's like, oh, they died. No, they ain't died. They was killed. Like,
they was killed. Yeah, that should be a crazy impact, man. A lot of people. I mean, the shit would definitely be different today, but you know, as I don't want to say white people, but certain people they didn't want. Man, it was just too much, man. It would be too much. You know, them feeling like they're not in power is one of the biggest things that scare them. That's why they try to keep us suppressed for so long.
Yeah, and it is. It is.
Still to this day, man, it's like that. Like
it's a rap bar that I hear, and it's like I heard it somewhere else though. It's like we as Black people, like you gotta feed the soil. So like basically, like too many of us is just worried about just us. Like even with the guy in the movie, like he was so worried about him doing 5 years in jail that it took down something so impactful that could have been a bigger fucking cause than what your 5 years in jail did. Like, you know what I mean? So you worried about like the flower, but who's feeding the soil? Like, what's more important, the flower or the soil? So it's like too many people that look like us is taking what they given, but you're not leaving nothing for the people that come behind you. So how things supposed to change?
Yeah.
You know what? And I seen that interview too with Charlamagne. What the boy Dane was saying too about how it was so tough for Lakeith to actually like play that role. He said because it took a lot out of him and shit of that nature. So you just think back like, damn, like, a lot of people, it's too much for them to bear just to think about everything that goes on with being quote unquote known as that rat and trying to play that rat and giving it your all in the
He did a great job. He did a good job. He a good actor.
Oh, yeah.
He a good actor.
You know what
Not
other
even
movie
just being a rat, but he's just a good actor. Like, I like him.
He was on the movie Dope. Do y'all remember that?
Oh my God.
He was the young boy. He took the sneakers. He took the
Oh,
the
yeah. I remember that. I went to
the movies to see that.
He was in a lot of movies, man. Just
Yeah.
like low key shit.
His big break was though, I think, like where I really start seeing him was him and Donald Glover was in was in Atlanta, and then when Atlanta took off,
it.
Yeah,
I never seen it.
This like their third season, but I think that was the main focal point. Like when Atlanta it's on FX, when it took off, like he was like this nonchalant, like get high all the time, like down to earth, like earthy guy on there. And it's like from there, you see Donald Glover career take off, and you see him in different things. So it's like that's where I recognize him from.
Yeah, I like it. I like him.
He's in Hidden Gems. He in that shit too.
Yeah.
But speaking of Donald Glover, actually Donald Glover got some new things up his sleeve. It's Donald Glover, his brother Stephen Glover, and also Malaya Obama signed a deal with Amazon. And in this deal, this is the only part that I did research on or that's being disclosed, is that Glover will have a chance to have his own content channel where he can showcase his talents. Also, with the two others, he's going to have a new show called The Hive, and it revolves around a Beyonce-like character. So if Atlanta was good, I'm gonna try not to miss out on that.
Did y'all know that the boy Donald Glover did stand up?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's where he started at. He did stand up. I saw a Comedy Central.
I wouldn't think he's funny. Is he funny?
No, he wasn't funny to me, but just
it's that dry
humor.
Yeah, I don't really do it with that.
Like Trevor Noah type, like that.
But he got
I do not like that guy, Trevor Noah. That's that light-skinned guy, right?
Yeah.
I
do not like him. Oh my God, I hate the commercial that come on. Oh God. I cannot. I do not like him. But
that's the type of humor they tell. They tell like dry white. Black
I know that's not my type. Yeah. If that's that, then that's not my type.
That's the crowds that pull in the money though.
Yeah, it's not funny. It's not funny to me.
That's the type of crowd you could go anywhere in the United States. And you still won't get
it exactly is. And you ain't gonna get my dollar.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had different avenues though and shit like that. I didn't know he acted and he did stand up and then he did music.
What kind of shit?
Well, you know that he had this song, what was it, Redbone or something like that, that was real big last year.
Oh, that was my joint.
Yeah, then he had This Is America.
Yeah.
He got a couple features on like Janae Aiko project. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. So, and also, did y'all seen that movie he did with Rihanna? I think it was on Netflix. Huh?
No, it was on Amazon. That was on Amazon too. So you see the relationship.
Yeah, I did watch that.
But I mean, it's the era where everybody grabbing content creators and stuff like that, and grabbing people who mean something. And it's like, all right, if I can get you to get your brain in my studio for you to create the stuff that's going to drive people to come to my platform. Because now it's like, all right, well, HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu, like, what am I going to do to make you sign up for my monthly subscription?
Right. So tell me, which Obama daughter is it that sound the oldest or the youngest?
The one who's smoking weed.
That's Sasha. I think. Wait, hold on. I think that's Sasha, the one that smoked.
That's Malaya, I think that's the youngest one, not the oldest one. That be at all the festivals and all that. The young one.
So hold up. So Sasha is the oldest one?
Yeah, Sasha is the oldest one, I believe.
No, I think it's the other way around.
I'm about to look. No, Sasha Obama is the one that be going out. So Malaya is the older one.
That's the one that's like
Malaya doing.
That's like the one that's like a Kardashian.
Yeah, Malia. Malia is the older one.
So if they gave her, damn, that's crazy. Ain't that something? Your last name Obama, they give you a book and shit. Go ahead.
Malia 24 and Sasha is 19.
Oh shit.
Malia 22, I'm sorry. And Sasha 19. But what Sasha doing in the media and everything, that's a typical 19-year-old. Like, you know. But yeah, Malia about to bring that bag home. That's typical 19-year-old shit.
When the last time you heard from my man?
I'm not doing that. Y'all are crazy.
What's up?
Y'all.
You got drawers on. Mister, what you wearing?
Hey, Trey used to be like this. What's going on?
I was your Valentine.
Is you horny? You got my legs tingling.
No. But I do want to bring this up because I feel like, did y'all go to college?
College?
Did y'all do college or some type of trade school or something?
13th grade. I went to 13th grade.
Okay. Yes, so Biden, I want to talk about that because I feel like they was asking for too much. But anyway, Biden proposed a loan forgiveness program for any loans that you might have for his school. He had I don't know, like some type of talk, the meeting where people will come out and ask him questions or whatever. And somebody stood up, a Caucasian lady, and she said, suggested about 50,000 because originally he said 10,000 per person. So of the loan to be forgiven. The lady suggested 50,000, and he flat out said no. Basically, because he said no because I don't blame him because 50,000 per person. Like, come on, dog. That's your fault. Not even fault. If you got into Harvard and they let you go to Harvard, okay, you knew how much that school was, you went.
I mean, if you got into Harvard, you should be able to afford to pay off that student loan. You go to Harvard.
That 10 fine with me, baby. That 10 fine with me. All I owe is 10. So, like, if you let it go, that'd be nice. It'd be nice, but 50K, come on, dog.
Think about all the people that went to college because their parents forced them to go. They ain't even finished. That's
college. I would tell my daughter, like, I ain't gonna keep it this real with her, but I'm telling y'all, I feel like college is set up, to be honest.
Well, I mean, society tell you have to go, but a lot of people, like, my credit is fucked up because I went to college because society said that after high school, that's what you got to do to be successful, and that's not always the case.
I went to Kutztown University for 2 years, and I wish I could get those 2 years back. It wasn't bad. It's a good, huh?
My question, I didn't mean to cut you off. If he offered you 10,000, like what does it cost a semester to go to a 4-year college or something like that? Like, how much does it actually run you? I know a lot of times, like, I went to community on the Pell Grant, so I don't have no student loans. So
yeah, I did. I had a grant, I had a scholarship, but I also, after one of the loans went through, like it collapsed. One of the loans I had to start paying out of pocket, so I left. Then I went to
gotcha.
Yeah, then I left, and then I went to medical assistant school. So that's where the loans accumulated. Then I went to CCP. So like it just
you used to try to find your way.
Right.
Like,
no, but them loans is crazy. Think of fucking what's that hair school that everybody go to? That shit
Empire.
Yeah, Empire like 10K, dog. Like
they charge you 10K just to teach you how to do roller sets and shit like that.
Yeah.
Get your CDLs like 10,000, 12,000. So,
for real?
Yeah.
Everything they want you to sign them financial aid papers.
That's all it is.
Yeah, that's all
it is. They want
because
you
that's what they get paid. But my thing is, I don't understand people. These the same people though, like they be cashing $5,000-$6,000 checks. that the school give you from the, you know what I mean, from the thing. Like if you now, granted, I know some people in survival mode and stuff like that, but if you don't really need that fucking money, you should have put it towards the loan.
Wait.
Right.
Who got $6,000 check?
Oh, you get that. You
These people get their refund checks.
That refund check was never $6,000.
It depends on what your loan is for.
No, right. they be like, it'd be like a couple. It'd be like the most I got was like $600. You get up to a stack. They not giving no money out like that.
I see my shorty get about 3 back one time.
For real?
I see motherfuckers.
6:34, I was hyping shit. My little mini refrigerator was full. I was hyped. I had oodles and doodles, everything.
I see motherfuckers who sign up for the school just to get them checks back. Like,
damn.
Right, I know they're gonna kick my ass out.
My grandma just signed up for school. They about to send her a check.
That's what's up.
And then it's good that if you ain't stay on campus and that like that, you definitely cool. You or you live with somebody close or you commute.
Yeah, and maybe I ain't get that much because I was in an apartment.
Right. Oh, damn, sis, but so would y'all push that on y'all kids though? Like
no,
college,
not at all.
I think me knowing what I know now, I would like not push it, but I don't know. Like I think that is like I feel stuck where I'm at, and I feel that's because I didn't try to like hone in on one profession. Like if you if my kid come to me and say, and that's not even a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, but if they find something they want to do, it's like go to college and do that. And if you fail at that, you'll be able to still have a college degree to fall back on that you could tell, like, regardless where you go, you can go to Target. I used to work at Target, and as long as you got a degree, you at least making $60,000. So, you know what I mean? So you have something to fall back on. It's like when you come from a situation where we in, where it's like, all right, well, I just work and I got a job and all that, but it's like when you in a point where you be like stuck somewhere because it's like where I'm going. Like where I'm going is gonna pay me this. Because they're going to tell you, they're going to put a ceiling on what you could make because you don't have no education.
Right.
No, but they still not trying to pay out nobody with degrees. You know how many people?
That's not everybody. Some people getting paid. Like some people
in my profession, I know a few people that I'm close to that got degrees and we make the same amount. Like they're not.
But they go to some people go to school for bullshit though.
No, you could go to school for that profession. Like I tell you when we get off. And they got degrees, like bachelor degrees, and we make the same amount. They not trying to pay them people out either.
No, well, I'm gonna tell you, here go the bullshit with it though. When they hit you with, oh yeah, well you need a bachelor's degree in this or associates or whatever, but then it's gonna say, but you need training, or experience in this. It's like, nigga, I just got the degree. Where the fuck I'm gonna find experience?
You're right. You're right.
With you. Oh well, yeah. Well,
but what I tell you though is like even when I ask myself this question is like everybody they doing similar to what we are doing or they somewhere in the medical field and it's like is that the only jobs available to fucking people like all these fucking buildings downtown there's nowhere I can work at a desk and do something productive. Like I can't build an app or something like that.
People should do their research on where the money is flourishing at. IT, a lot of that stuff is like a money field, and it does not have to go to. You don't have to go to college for that. You can go to a trade school. You can do 2 years. And get your IT certificate, I guess. And that money flourishes. You know how many people are IT techs or technicians, and they work for Google.
Yeah, but see, a lot of that shit don't hold weight.
So what looks better though? Your degree from a college or your certificate from IT?
Right, that's what I was about to say.
Like it don't matter. Like
you gotta
go pay you. Yes, I got a degree. How many people got a degree and they're not making the money they want to make? But you got somebody that went to a program for 16 months, and damn, so you make that much.
So you think it's more college graduates who are successful or ones that's not successful?
It's not.
Yeah,
that's just me.
I think it's not.
But my thing is, like, I got a not my cousin per se, but my cousin's cousin. is, and like I know him from like growing up and being around a family and stuff like that. Like he makes software for games, and he makes over at like fucking age 22, 23, he making over 100K at an entry level in a job, just doing some shit that he loved. And it's like, well, I probably loved the game just as much back then, but I ain't know how to fucking go about getting it. You know what I mean?
And then you gotta look better.
Okay, so I
who
get
crushed
that
your
part.
dream at that?
I get that part. He went to college for. He went to college for that profession, and okay. So I give you that. You gotta know what profession to go all the way in with.
When you hear, it's so many things to do in this world, and I think that we just not accessible enough to the things that you want to do. Like it's people who I saw the clip on Complex, and there's a fucking lady who just does like sound effects for movies. So she do like the walking sound effects, the crunching of chips for like animated cartoons and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
And she does the shit like that, like I think it was the Ratatouille movie, and he was like sipping a soup, and then somebody has to make that sound, and she does shit like that from home, and she's making a good ass fucking living because she went to school for production and music and stuff like that. But how am I supposed to know that you can go to college or something like that? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, we might have missed our chance, or really we didn't, because we're still like young and thriving, now. But we instilling in our children, because our families didn't know.
Right. Yeah. They didn't put that on us. It was growing up.
They ain't give us shit but drugs.
And not even just that. It was just like, you better go to college, you better do this. But you never told me.
Doctor, work for the city.
Like you never told me. And they probably do just for bragging rights. Oh, my son a doctor, my daughter a doctor. Like they would never know. Do this, do that. We ain't know.
15 years ago. Yeah, my son makes sales for the fucking movie.
They be like, you motherfucker wasting money and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, but you can't worry about perception.
Just think of just regular jobs, bro. Look at motherfuckers who are hand models, foot models. These motherfuckers don't do nothing but make sure their hands is moisturized and shit like that. Right. It's just a lot of shit that we never tapped in, because growing up, all we knew about was go to college, like you said, become a police officer, a doctor, or we thought outrageous shit. Oh, I want to be an astronaut. Well, how the fuck am I getting the lane to go?
You could be the president. You could be the president. How the fuck you gonna be the president?
You could be the president. And the next thing was, don't do drugs. You had the motherfucking, what's that? The drug. Who was the motherfucking drug person?
The drug program. The DARE program.
Y'all told that shit like that, but not
the DARE ain't that the DARE program?
But I just feel like when we had our ceiling was low, like if you got a good job, like that shit is, and we saw that a clip was surfacing with the EYL, the Earn Your Leisure podcast, and they was talking about that, like the way to being rich is now fucking working hard, working. Like it's another way around in this world. But the things we accessible to, like I'm investing on stocks off my phone when my parents didn't even know what the fuck a stock was. They was telling you buy bonds and shit like that. You got bonds in your name and shit like that.
Yeah.
You got these CDs and shit like that.
Yeah. Stuff like that. So, I mean, the world different, but it's like, I feel like it's a vast majority of shit that we not even available to or even know. Like, so my kid, to go back to what you was talking about originally, if my kid wanted to go to college, or like was like at a crossroad of should I go to college or should I do this, I will push them to go to college, because first of all, debt is always gonna be around. You always gonna owe somebody. Like, you know what I mean? I just feel like that way no matter how good your credit is,
you been saying that since you was 15, dog.
You always gonna have a bill. Like no matter how good my credit is or bad my credit is, I still have a fucking bill.
You said he was saying that since 15. Who he was saying at 15?
No, that just always been his motto. Like, you always gonna owe somebody. Like,
you always gonna owe somebody.
That nigga was an old man at 15.
You know what somebody told me?
I pay these bills. I'm working now. I pay these bills.
When I realized my folks, like, they paid off their house and they still had a fucking bill, and it's like, what the fuck you paid it off for? You still got paid in taxes on that motherfucker. When you see people, like, who die and they still send a fucking bill to your house for a motherfucker,
you ain't lying.
They ain't no more. Like,
you ain't lying.
So what am I stressing over bills for?
Right. My pop be saying that shit too. I can't live like that, nigga. I'm like, no, fuck that. Like,
I'm saying, like, when I need to
go out like that.
When I need to fix my credit, I fix my credit for the shit that I want. But after I get the shit I want, I'm fucking him up.
So, that's how that nigga did. No, but going on for me, I don't know if I would push that on my daughter, as far as just going to school and shit like that. Just cause I knew me growing up, that wasn't the thing I wanted, but I try to live up to my parents and shit like that. And went to college and I never finished. And the fuck, what I wanted to be in life, I ain't become either, but I didn't even go to college. I wanted to be a cop. I didn't have to fucking go to college for that.
Still couldn't do this shit. Right. So, I don't know about y'all. Did y'all feel? I felt like me and my family couldn't afford college. I felt like we was like, I felt like I couldn't afford college. Like
I couldn't. I don't know why she made me go. Like, why you make me go? And you can't even co-sign for me, shorty. Right. After my scholarships was used up, that was it. It was like, so what you gonna do with the rest of this? And I was like, oh, I don't got it. I called my mom. She was like, I'm already paying for your brother's stuff. I don't know what to tell you. Like, why you make me come here? Like,
my counselor was like looking for me, like, what you doing as far as college and all. I'm like, motherfucker, I just scrambled up enough money to pay for my prom ticket.
Yeah.
You talking about fucking college, like, yeah.
And you know what? That was another thing, yo. I never utilized my counselor until I was a senior.
Yeah, like, me neither.
Like a lot of kids
stealing money. Them motherfuckers stealing money, yo.
If any profession, that's probably where you want to go to and work for the school district, because you don't see them motherfuckers till your senior year or your 11th grade year.
Exactly. Exactly. Your guidance.
No, unless something traumatic happened in the house, they send you there.
Man, how rare is that?
Yeah, but they do send you there. It's, even if, like, say, you getting teased a lot, they send you to the counselor. If you getting a lot of fights, they send you to the counselor.
That's I think is more innovative now. Like, my son's school now, like, he go to charter, and he told the one little boy that my dad gonna shoot your dad or whatever like that. So he called the house about this shit. Yeah, he called the house. He know anything about guns and all that? I was like, no, we ain't doing all that. I don't let him play with water guns and none of that shit. He's like, yeah, my dad gonna shoot your dad. He talking all that shit.
And now at my daughter's school, I like how they do theirs. If you just put it, they got like a box and they say it's like a sad box or I forgot what it's called or whatever, and you just drop your name in it. You don't have to let nobody see. You just drop your name in it, and they will call you to go to the counselor. You don't have to tell them. You don't have to go to the teacher. You just write your name on a slip and just drop it in the box. Because the counselor called me at work, and I was like, wait, I have your daughter here, and I was like, what happened? Like that. And then they explained, no, not no punishment. They explained to me like how they do theirs. And I was like, well, why you ain't just tell me? And she was like, well, no, I was sad in class. And it was like, oh, all right. Like, wow. Like,
so kids probably teasing. I see you walking over there in a sad box. I see
oh man.
What you doing over there by that sad box?
Everybody over here, why you need a sad box?
Like, cool.
Get your sad ass away from that sad box.
Get your dumb ass away from that sad box. We were just fucking with you, like.
It's crazy. I can see somebody there. Somebody in the back of the line. I see you walking in the sad box.
I see you drop that slip. He dropped the slip. He dropped the slip.
That's the stuff, those stuff like that. Like, I don't know, like with the kids and stuff like that, it's different. But like to circle back around, I mean, I think me personally, I fear being like a father. Like, it's crazy because it's like you don't know what the future holds for your kids.
Yeah.
You can raise them the right way and stuff like that. Like I told y'all the story before where they was teasing my son because he had like the loafers you just slide your feet on and shit. They like, what are those and shit like that. I'm like, yo.
Right.
Tell me fucking stop, he get off on a bus. I'm gonna whoop his ass.
Right. It's a fine line too now because it's like, do you teach a kid how to get back at other kids and joke and bust? Or do you teach them how jokes, nigga? Yeah, or do you teach them to be defensive and now they want to fight and protect themselves?
Right.
It's like you gotta know that fine line because you can fuck around, teach a kid, well, this is how you protect yourself, and now they fuck around, become a bully in school. Then everybody's scared of their ass.
Yeah. And that's what that's what happened to my son in daycare. Like he went from, I'm hitting the kids because the kids hitting me to now I'm just punching fucking kids.
No.
Yeah.
My niece like that. She just fight for no reason, picking on people because she used to be the one to get picked on. So like, damn, that's fucked up. It's like no in between. Like no, I don't know. Like I was the
but I do,
jokester.
cause I got 2 boys, so I do tell them like I ain't really teaching them to stroll on people, but
Come on, dog.
Ain't no one.
We ain't fighting
no one. I don't tell them like if somebody come on with their ass whooping, better be both of y'all, not one of y'all.
It's only right. It's only right.
Yeah. But I mean, we drifted for a while, but this episode, what, 91? We slowly approaching
episode
100.
Right
Yeah. We slowly approaching 100 with COVID restrictions and shit like that. We don't know what we gonna do. We're gonna try to do something special. Even though we add a different person every week until we get to 100 and just have random people on here. We gonna do something. But we got Preece Points coming up.
Yeah. All right. So for Preece Points, I got a few things for y'all today. 42 Doug, which I never heard of before, and Roddy Ricch video shoot turned to a crime scene after someone opened fire and 3 people were hurt. I found out that both artists are okay. I don't know what the incident was about, but 3 people were hurt. London on the Track due in court next month over custody for his son. He currently has full custody, although the mom feels as though she is ready to take him on.
We got London on the track.
London is requesting she has a mental evaluation done first before sharing custody. Offset tells fans another Migos album is coming. Y'all for that?
They do for another
the world open back up.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they've been a while. They dropped the 2 and then they did all those solo projects and stuff like that. Offset said too. He said he brought Jordans back. He said I got motherfuckers wearing J's now instead of designer.
Okay. If you caught the Preece pin the other day, Tiana and G Herbo are expecting a little girl. Kanye West is still wearing his wedding ring, regardless of Kim filing for divorce and him having a new boo thing.
That's crazy.
He's still in love.
Right.
DJ Khaled and Fat Joe both are coming out with TV shows, letting us in on their careers. DJ Khaled's show is called DJ Khaled in the House, and Fat Joe's is called Fat Joe's Masterclass. Another man named Quindon Dan Tarver comes forth claiming he is also a victim of Chris Stokes. And for my last point, Janaya and Money Yaya, both NBA baby moms will be at the same event for NBA All-Star Weekend. So, everybody says that young boy is still in love with Janaya, and you know how Yaya is over young boy. So it might be a fight. She already stabbed. Yaya already stabbed somebody up for him. It might be a fight.
I'm surprised. Yeah. Almost killed that little girl. Crazy.
Yeah. No, and she got like forever fucked up for that. She's forever fucked up for that.
Oh, that girl, yeah. Don't he got herpes or something? How he still sleeping?
Yeah, look, man.
These young bucks is crazy, yo.
I don't know what's going on.
He got the herpes dirt. Long as he take his meds, though, he cool.
That nigga, wow.
They don't care.
Crazy.
But it's
supposedly he a good dad too.
I mean, you got money, supposedly.
Try to hear that shit.
Yeah, right.
That's what 91, right?
In 91.
Peace out. What?
No, it's inside. It's Water Boy. But we out.
Oh.
That's 91. We out.
All right.